Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. My name is Knut, and today we're going to talk about this Harley Benton Double Cut Junior in faded brown, which happens to be one of my favorite guitars that I've ever owned. Anyways, this is my first video ever speaking, so it's probably going to be rough around the edges, but let's give it a shot. And we're gonna start talking about the headstock to begin with, and then we're gonna go to the fretboard and the neck, and then the body and the pickups and all the hardware. All right, so let's start with the headstock, and we can definitely see that it's inspired by the Big G. It looks cool. It feels comfortable to look at because we all know that guitarists can be picky a lot about designs and names on the headstock, but I'm totally comfortable playing this guitar and I would gig it even though it's 2020 and no one is gigging. But anyways, so the main part of the headstock normally are the tuners, and the tuners, they feel really good. They don't get stuck or they don't jump. They feel smooth. And the only problem that I had with these tuners is when I try to restring it, I'm not quite sure if you can see it, but yeah, so you see this black dot right here? So this happened because I was trying to a string winder, like the one of those cheap string winders, and it got stuck in the plastic, so it got the color from the string winder, which is black. But anyways, I don't mind that. I like relic guitars, so that's not a problem for me. But you should just keep that in mind if you're picky about that stuff. Anyways. So the tuners are Wilkinson, and that has to count for something because they really feel really good, and this guitar keeps tune very well. And I think that is all thanks to the other component that is close to the headstock, and that will be the nut. I'm not quite sure what material this is, but it's really, really good. I've never had any strings binding on this nut. It's cut really well. The only thing that I did is I took the strings, I used 10s. So I took the strings and I just filed the nut a little bit deeper so the strings have a little gap in them and they won't bind in the nut. So that's what I do with all my guitars. I did that to my PRS SE Standard as well. So without further ado, let's start talking about the fretboard, the frets, and the neck. So the first thing that you grab when you grab a guitar is the neck, and if you feel comfortable with it, you're good to go. And this here neck is it's kind of slim, but after playing for a couple of days, you get used to it. My PRS over there has a thick neck. So I think it's called a thick wide pattern, and I've played that guitar for a long time now, and I was really familiar with the thick necks. But even after playing for a couple of days, I got really familiar with this neck, and it doesn't bother me at all. There's also another version of the DC Junior, the fat one, and it has the fat neck, 59 style neck, and it has a stack humbucker, but that's a different product. So, alright, so we talked about the neck, and now we're going to focus on the fretwork. So, the frets on this guitar are impeccable. There's nothing wrong with them. They were kind of rough when I got them. They weren't smoothed out or anything like that, but after playing for a day or so, they smoothed out by themselves. I played this guitar a lot, so that's probably why I did that. Anyways, the frets, they feel like they're jumbo, even though on the website I think it says they're medium jumbo, but they feel like jumbo frets because, they look big, they feel big, and they're bigger than the frets on my PRS. Anyways, let's see what else I can say about this. The fret ends, they're perfectly fine. Even the fretboard, the fretboard is rolled off the edges, and it feels like a glove. Other than that, there's nothing much to say. It's a really playable guitar. It doesn't have any dead spots or anything like that. All the frets work because you probably remember, if you're a kid of the 90s or even early 2000s, you know that guitars that were under $200 or under that price category, they had rough fretwork. It takes time to do the frets. and time equals money. So, but enough blabbering. So this is perfectly fine on that department. You can play this guitar right off the box. I haven't done any setup. I just set up the intonation the way I liked it. I mean, not the way I liked it, but how it's supposed to be. And I just lowered the action a little bit. No fret buzz, nothing like that. Right, so now we're going to talk about the body of the guitar and the hardware and the pots and everything that it's left. So the body is made out of mahogany. So is the neck, because I forgot to mention. And it's finished in this, it doesn't feel like thick plastic poly finish. It just feels more natural. It feels smoother. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but it's really, really nice. And you can't see the pore. I mean, you can see the pores, but you can't actually feel them. But I wouldn't like that, so this is perfect for me. I wish the pick guard was in black, because in the original Gibsons it was tortoiseshell. But you can definitely swap that out if you want. And now the most important part of the guitar is the pickup. So this is a P90 pickup, a Roswell P90 pickup. And most people say that it's a really weak P90 pickup. But I think that, and the other problem is that you can't raise the pickup because it doesn't have any mechanism to raise it. It's an old dog-ear design pickup. But I think that the place where it's at the moment is very suitable for me, because I don't like a lot of compression going through my signal. So I don't want the guitar to compress the amp, and I don't want a lot of signal from my guitar. I want a lot of mids, and this guitar provides a lot of mids, because if you have the pickup closer to the strings, all you're going to do is you're going to add a lot more high end to it. And I can do that with my amp. I can add some gain, and that will make up for the fact that a pickup is low to the body. So it's a very versatile pickup. I mean, I always used to be a neck pickup kind of guy, but then I saw Tom Bukovac playing a double cut junior, and it sounded very sweet, so I thought I'd just give it a shot. And I mean, yes, if you set up your amp the way that it's supposed to be for like a neck pickup kind of sound, or not so much of a shrill kind of sound, you can get anything you want with this bridge pickup. So the next most important thing on the guitar is the bridge. So as you can see, the bridge is to one-piece stoptail, and it doesn't look like the original design, because the original design didn't have the adjustable saddles, and I think it's really good that this guitar has adjustable saddles, because you can then touch up on the intonation. And this is the only thing that I changed on this guitar, is that I messed with the intonation, and I got it right where it's supposed to be, because it was off a little bit. And other than that, I haven't done anything to the guitar, an exception to changing strings. So next we have volume. We have a simple setup, a volume and a tone pot. And the good thing about these pots is that they work correctly. They don't go from 0 to 10, but every number counts. And every number on the volume counts, and every number on the tone pot counts. So what I do with this guitar is I set it as bright as I want it to be with both pots full on, and then I always tend to go half on the tone pot, because as I said, I don't like shrill sounds. I'm a neck pickup kind of guy, but this pickup is really, really dynamic, and I can get away with just rolling off the tone and giving it some more juice if I needed to. So for example, let's start with, I have my amp. It's a Boss Katana 50, and I'll probably just post a picture right here of the settings. So I have it set where it's kind of dirty. I mean, that's the maximum gain that I would want in my signal. So this is going to be it, with the tone pot rolled down to 4 or 5. So as you can tell, it's kind of dark. The guitar is kind of dark, but that's the way I like it to be. If I want more high end, I can just roll it up and... So that would be as much high end as I would ever possibly need from my setup. So let's quickly jump through my favorite settings that this guitar has to offer, and that would be leaving the volume pot at around 7 or 8 and bringing down the tone pot to around 5 or 6. So what that gives you is just a great foundation for a lot of chord voicings that need a lot of note separation and clarity to be heard. So let me just play you some chords so you can hear what I'm talking about. Alright, so as you can tell, it's very musical, it's very inspiring, and this pickup right here is very, very dynamic. I mean, all I did was just turn down the volume a little bit, and it cleaned up. I didn't change the amp settings or anything like that, so in that manner, it's a very versatile guitar. Another setting that I prefer would be keeping the volume at the same level, so 7 or 8, and just dropping the tone pot just a tiny bit to 3 or 4, and you get the good emulation of a neck pickup, which this guitar obviously doesn't have, so just give it a listen. It sounds really good. I mean, to my ears, it sounds like the perfect guitar that I've ever wanted. Anyways, even though, as I said, I've never been a bridge pickup kind of guy, I always ignored the bridge pickup, and I exclusively played on neck pickups. But I mean, as soon as I got this guitar and figured out that I can do a lot of things with just 2 pots, I mean, it's really liberating. To say the least. Anyways, that would be it for this video. I think I touched upon a lot of points here, and I thank you very much for your time, for watching this video, and I would really appreciate if you drop a like, comment on what do you think about this video, because I'm very keen on listening, and I would really, really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel and be here for more content that I'm going to be dropping out soon. Okay, so that would be it. I'm not sure how to end videos, but thank you very much for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.